Hey everyone, this is Brian from ActiveMelody.com. I'm going to show you how to play that note for note in this lesson. If you want to download the tablature, you can over at www.activemelody.com. Alright, so let's break this down. Now the first thing to point out is when you actually start playing this. And what you're going to do is you're going to count 4 and not play anything. And then you're going to, on the second measure, you're going to count 1, 2, and on the 2 is where you're going to start playing. Now let me demonstrate what I'm talking about. So you're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. See how I started playing on the 2? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay? So that's just, wanted to point that out up front. That's how you know when to start it, based on that sort of little intro part there. So here's what's going on. We are in the key of E, and I am using a pick on this one. On the other Delta blues, I was just using my fingers, but this is a pick lesson, and so there's a lot of just alternate picking, you know, down up strokes. In a few spots, I'm going to use my finger along with my pick, and I'll show you where those are. But anyway, the first thing that happens is I do this little run that goes. And what I'm doing there is I'm taking my pointer finger and I'm sliding up to the 3rd fret, 2nd string, and my middle finger goes to the 4th fret, 3rd string. And so I'm sliding up and I'm playing those first 2 notes. So that's string 3, 2, back to string 3, and then we're going to play the high E string, which is just an open string. And then we're going to come back and play the 2nd string and the 3rd string. Just like that. So it's... And notice my picking pattern. It's down, up, down, up. So it's down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay? So that's how we're starting it. And then we come to this part. It goes... And what I'm doing there is I'm just sliding back down from the 3rd fret. I'm sliding, the 4th fret, 3rd string with my middle finger. I'm sliding down to the 2nd fret on that string. Then I play on the 1st fret on the 3rd string. Then I come down on the 4th string with my middle finger and play the 2nd fret on the 4th string. So it's... Okay, so then we're going to come up while we're holding that and play. Actually, I play really the top 2 strings, or it could even be the top 3 strings. It's really the E chord. That's what you're doing. Now you're not making the full chord because you don't have time with your left hand, but that's what's going on there. So it's... Okay, and then we go. And what I'm doing there is I'm just walking up to that B7th chord. So I'm starting on the A note, the open 5th string. Then we're going to come to the 1st fret on the 5th string with my pointer finger. And the 2nd fret on the 5th string with your middle finger. The reason you want to make sure you use your middle finger is because then you're right in position to make that B7th chord. And the way that I make that chord is just like that. Middle finger, 2nd fret, 5th string. Pointer finger on the 1st fret, 4th string. And then my ring finger on the 2nd fret, 3rd string. And I'm kind of just playing those middle 4 strings. So, okay. So, and it's the walk up to it that really makes it nice. Okay. And then, so you've kind of set it up there, really. Set the context, I guess. And now you're going to get into kind of that blues, you know, the typical 12-bar blues shuffle, which is that thing. And all I'm doing for that is I'm pushing down on the 2nd fret 5th string with my pointer finger, and I'm playing strings 6 and 5. Just those 2 strings. And what gives it that nice effect is to take your right hand and kind of lay it over the strings there, because you're kind of muting it with the right hand, so you get that nice little muted effect. And okay, so that's what I'm doing there. And then I'm taking my pinky. Now, some people use their ring finger. For some reason, I've always done this with my pinky, but I take my pinky finger here and I come to the 4th fret on the 5th string and push that down, then back, then back. So I'm pushing it down, I'm releasing it. Okay, so that's kind of the rhythm. So it's just it's got a little bit of a shuffle to it, so it's not straight. It's not like that. It's okay, and I actually don't do it that long, because what I do is I do this little. Okay, so let me show you that. And what I'm doing there is I'm taking my middle finger, putting it down on the 3rd fret, 6th string, and then I'm taking my ring finger and putting it on the 4th fret, 6th string. And that's kind of a hammer-on. So once I play this note, I kind of hammer on with my ring finger there on the 4th fret. And then I come up and I hit the 4th string, because this is already kind of forming a bar anyway, just to push down on that 5th fret there. So I'm kind of barring that. So the note that I'm actually playing is that note, which is the 2nd fret 4th string. But since my fingers are already there, kind of barred. Let me try that again. Now watch for the right hand. So it's just one pick, there's the hammer on, and then it's an upstroke on the 4th string. Okay, so what we've got thus far then we come back and go just 2, 1, 2. Because what you're doing is you're setting up for. And what I'm doing is I'm playing. There's kind of 2 ways you can do this. Probably the easiest way to explain it anyway, and maybe to play it, is just to keep that bar. And while you're barring, you're really, if you notice what you're doing, you're kind of playing the notes, or the frets that are in the A chord, which is the chord you're about to go to. But anyway, you kind of hint at it by going, even though your low note is an E, you're playing that A chord, so it's, and all I'm doing there, I'm barring the 2nd fret, and I'm playing strings 4, 3, and 2. And in actual fact, when I break it down, I'm really only playing strings 4 and 3. I don't think I actually hit all 3. But you could if your finger slipped. But anyway. Then you come back to the low E, and then you go. And all I did there was I just made an E chord. And I just hammered on with my pointer finger. And then I come back and I do. an upstroke on the first two strings. So just practice that piece over and over again until you get it. So now notice when I did it that time, I switched and barred that with my middle finger. Not really sure why I do that, to be honest. You could do it either way. It's just whatever's easier. It seems easier to me to bar that, to switch fingers. Go ahead and switch fingers there and get that middle finger in place. So you can more quickly, or more easily, I should say, create that E chord. It's really just up to you whether you want to bar with your, keep barring with your pointer finger, or go ahead and switch there. So let me play the whole thing up to that point slowly. And then what I do is, you know, I keep tapping my foot, just a constant 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to help you. And if when you're learning this, set a metronome or something, or if you've got a good, you know, sense of rhythm, you know, tap your foot. Because the next thing that happens is this little thing, and when you're hearing it in real time, you're kind of doing that in this kind of weird time signature. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4. Even though if you listen to my foot tapping, you know, it's kind of going, it's kind of counterintuitive to what the actual rhythm is. So that one may take a little bit of practice to get that sort of time, but it's this 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of a, like a triplet type feel. And what I'm doing note-wise, those are the first two notes that we kind of started the song with. I'm just sliding up to the, again, the third fret, the third fret second string with my pointer finger, and then the fourth fret third string with my ring finger. And I'm sliding into that each time. I'm going, and I'm just playing those two strings. So it's the third and second string. And when I'm doing that with the right hand, I'm just playing downstroke. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then after that, I do this little run that goes. Now, don't be intimidated by that. It's actually not that difficult, and most of this you've already done. So what we're doing is we're sliding from, we're taking middle finger, third string, fourth fret, and we're sliding down to the second fret. Then I'm going to play the first fret on the third string, then the second fret on the fourth string, and then I'm going to come up and hit that high E string, that open E string. So, okay. Then I'm going to come to the, and I use my middle finger to do this. Come down to the third fret second string, second fret second string, then an open string, so it's the open B string or the second string. So slowly up until that point it's, then we take our middle finger and come back and play the third string second fret, and then while you keep that held down, you come up and play that second string, second string open again. It's kind of a cool clash. So it, and then now if you'll notice what that is again, that's really just that E chord. I'm not making the whole chord because I don't have a time to do it if I'm doing it fast, so I just go. So it's just hammering on to the first fret, third string, and then doing an upstroke and trying to grab, you know, the first string or the first two strings. Well, that time I grabbed too many. Yeah, like that. So slowly, that whole part goes. right, so with the right hand, it's just alternate picking. Down, up, down, up. All right, so then what happens is I play this little... And really, that happens so quick. It's not like it's a very methodical, thought out, hitting that D string. But I guess that's kind of what happens when I sort of broke it down. So all I'm doing is I'm hitting that, down, down, up with my picking pattern. It's just the open D string or the 4th string. Then I come down to the 3rd fret on the 6th string, play that low G note, do a little bit of a bend, and then come in and grab, really all I'm playing is the 5th string and the 4th string, those 2 strings. But I'm barring the first 4 frets there on the 2nd fret, and so that's really creating that A chord. So if I happen to hit more than just those 2 strings, that's okay, because you've got sort of the chord already in place. So that's what you're trying to do to get you to the A part. All right, so backing up. That's where we're at. All right, so now that you're in place with the A, what you play is... That's the first thing that you do. Now that's the same little thing that we learned down here when we were doing it with the E. Where you do that little hammer on between the 3rd and 4th fret. It's the same thing, but everything is shifted up a set of strings. So now we're on the pinky goes down on the 4th string, 4th fret. And that little part is, again, on the 3rd and 4th frets, but this time it's on the 5th string. And we come up and grab that high, the 3rd string. So it happens right away, that little run, so it goes... And then I do this little thing that goes... Okay. And that's borrowed right out of the Eric Clapton playbook. Eric, I hope you don't sue me for that, but love that run. Not sure where Eric got it from. But here's how that works. So I take my middle finger and I'm on the 3rd string, 4th fret. Then I slide up to the 6th fret. Then I play with my pointer finger, I play on the 2nd string, 5th fret. Okay? Now I take my ring finger and I come up here and I do this little... And I'm starting on the 7th fret, 6th fret, 5th fret. All of that's on the 1st string. Okay, and then you come down to the 3rd fret and give it a little bit of a bend just to knock it a little bit sharp. And what I'm doing there is I'm going 3rd fret, 1st string, open, 1st string, open, 2nd string. Okay? And then we do this little... So now to play that part, we're just going to kind of, and this will be a repeat of something, this will be familiar, but you're taking your middle finger, you're sliding from the 3rd string, 4th fret, down to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, again the 1st fret, and then the 2nd fret on the 2nd string. And then we come up and grab the top E string or the top 2 strings. So here's that piece together. you can see there's a lot of repurposed licks here. You probably don't notice that when you hear it up to speed. It doesn't sound like you're just repeating yourself, but when you kind of break it down, it actually kind of surprised me. You know, usually you play this stuff and you don't analyze it quite so much, but there's a lot of repetition, and that's okay. I think your ear kind of people like that. They like that, you know, kind of the predictability of where the song is going. Maybe, I don't know, but anyway. So the A part, I'll play it slowly up to this point. It goes. Okay, so this next run is challenging. This will probably be the hardest part of the song. It sounds like this. And even then, you can see I missed a string. Just because it's, you know, the speed of it, and you're kind of jumping around across strings, but you can do this. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to start with this hammer-on the 2nd fret 4th string, just like that. Start with an open, and then it happens right away. So it's 1, 2, 3. Then, and notice I'm alternate picking that as opposed to just doing downstrokes. That's because if you're doing anything up to speed like that, you've really got to kind of alternate pick it. So, open D string, or 4th string. Then we come down to the 5th string on the 2nd fret. And notice I'm using my middle finger for all of that. Then I come down to the 1st fret on the first fret on the 5th string with my pointer finger. Alright, so now to get this little tricky run, it goes like this. And all I'm doing there is I'm starting with an open A on the 5th string, and then I'm doing a hammer-on and a pull-off at the same time on the 1st fret of the 5th string, just like that. And then I come down to the 3rd fret on the 6th string. Then I let go of the 6th string, just play it open. And then the final note in that is the 4th string, 2nd fret. So all together up until this point, it sounds like this. And then the last part of that is, that's just that same little hammer on to the 1st fret 3rd string that we've done. Now I grab the top E string with my with my ring finger on my right hand. You don't have to do that. You could pick it, but it's just quicker for me just to grab it with my finger there. And while I'm doing that and sort of moving my hand back to hit this low E that we're about to hit, I'm going ahead and sort of forming the E chord. Really the E7th chord. So I form the E chord, and then I put my pinky down on the 3rd fret 2nd string along with that E chord to give it that E7th chord sound. So it's... Now I'm not playing the whole chord, but it's just easier for me to make the chord than it is to try and single out that note. I don't know, that's just me, but that's what's kind of going on. The notes you're playing are that hammer on 1st fret, the high E, the low E, and then that 2nd string on the 3rd fret. And I do it with my pinky. Okay, there's a lot to digest there, but let me play the whole thing slowly. Okay, one more time. So now we get to the B7th, and it goes. Now that, I'm definitely, with my right hand, I'm using my ring finger. See what I'm doing there? Watch my right hand. It's kind of a combination of using the pick. And really, it's just kind of going back and forth between the 5th string there and what's going on the 2nd and 3rd string with my right hand. So the chord that I'm playing, all I'm doing is doing that B7th chord, just like that. And that you're just holding that with the right hand. I'm walking up to it, just like we did at the beginning. Okay, and then I'm playing the 2nd string, back to the 5th, back to the 3rd, or not back to it, but to the 3rd. And then back to, and I'm hitting that 2nd string twice. So altogether, that part sounds like this. Let me do it a little slower. This is a timing thing. Okay, and so then we close with this fun little run that goes. And what I'm doing there is I'm starting on the 2nd fret, 1st string, and I'm sliding up to the 4th fret with my middle finger. Then I'm playing that open E, and then the 2nd fret. That's all on the 1st string. Then back to the open E. Now I'm on the 2nd string on the 2nd fret, and then I come back to the open 1st string. So, and then I do this cool little slide thing that goes. And I'm not picking that, I'm kind of going. So I'm on the 3rd fret there, 3rd string, sliding down to the 2nd. Then I kind of just do a pull off, like that. And then I jump down to the 4th string on the 2nd fret. Okay, so then I do this. And all I'm doing there is I'm just making the E chord, but before I do, I'm doing a hammer-on pull-off with that 1st fret, 3rd string. So, here it is slowly. And then up to tempo, it's. And I'm just really just making the E chord. Then I do this little turnaround run. Love that. It's very easy to do. This is another good example where I'm using my pick and my ring finger. You don't have to do that. You could pick across the strings. But I'm going between the 5th string and really bouncing between the 5th string and the 3rd string. So my left hand is just fretting on the 5th string, 5th fret, middle finger there. Then my pointer finger is on the 3rd string, 4th fret. Okay, so that's the first thing. And then you just walk that down. All the way down. And when you're doing it fast, that's why with my right hand I'm doing this. So it's a pick and a pull with my finger, and then another pick. And then I do right back into that B7th. Just that walk into the B7th. And then I closed it with an E7th chord. Alright, so here's the whole thing played slowly. There you go. Make sure to go to activemelody.com if you want to download the tab for that.